Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If this is the first video you are watching of my channel, I am so sorry. I know I look like absolute poo. I am unwell, I got the flu. If you are new here, please consider subscribing if you would like to continue watching after seeing this. To like this video if you like this video, and to leave a comment down below if you'd like to tell me what you would like to watch on my channel. The video I had planned for Friday's video I decided to put off for next week because I'd rather do something a bit more chilled. I feel like it's better that way. Then the video for next week won't be so half-assed and I won't look like I'm dying. But instead, I'm going to take a personality quiz. I'm curious, I want to know what my personality is. So we are taking the 16 personalities quiz. It's a free personality test. I will put it up here. Take test. You regularly make new friends. Somewhat agree. You spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. I do. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. No. You often make a backup plan for a backup plan. Somewhat disagree. You usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. When I was dancing, I went to a dance academy. During corner work, I didn't like having all those eyes on me. To be good, to do good, to feel like I'm competing, despite the fact that we were just practicing, that pressure used to get to me. I'm gonna say somewhat agree. At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones that you already know. When I'm in a social setting, I really like to talk to new people. I agree, but I don't strongly agree. Next. You prefer to completely finish one project before starting another. Disagree. I like to chop and change. Actually, I'll say somewhat disagree. You are very sentimental. No. I'm neutral. You like to use organization tools like schedules and lists. Not so much schedules and lists. That's not my type of organization. If I'm organizing my closet drawer with just my jeans and stuff and my skirts and stuff, I'll probably put my skirts in one corner, then my shorts, then jeans. But then I'll also do like blue jeans, white jeans, black jeans, like that type of organization, not so much schedules and lists. I'm gonna say I'm neutral. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. Oh, 100%. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. I'm gonna say kind of agree. You are not interested in discussing various interpretations and analyze of creative work. I'm gonna say somewhat disagree. Depends on who you're talking to. You know, I've got one friend who thinks me diving in deep into why a film may have done certain things or how the character didn't develop or so on and so forth. She thinks I'm going too much into it and it's just a movie. But because I'm a script writer, for me, it makes me consider what I would do as a writer rather than what that writer did. That's how my mind works when I talk about creative works. You're more inclined to follow your head than your heart. Likely to disagree because I tend to follow my heart just a bit more. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine. 100%. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. Yeah, don't really care. You enjoy participating in group activities. No. I mean, it depends. If it's my friend group, yes. If it's like a work thing, no. When I used to work at this one place, we had a Christmas meal. I didn't want to go to it. I didn't want to go to the Christmas meal. Some people enjoy it, some people don't. I personally hate it. I see those people enough at work. I don't want to see them outside of work unless we're actually friends. I know that makes me sound weird, but I'm not interested. I'm gonna say somewhat disagree. But if it's any sport event, no. You like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending. I'm gonna say I'm neutral. Your happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments. I'm neutral. You are interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next. Yeah, I say I agree. You're prone to worry that things will take a turn for the worse. Likely to agree. You avoid leadership roles in group settings. If I'm handed a leadership role, I get worried that the other people are not going to like what I have to say. So yeah, I guess I do worry in some cases. So I'm going to say somewhat agree. You are definitely not an artistic type of person. I am extremely artistic. Everything I've ever done in my life is artistic. You think the world would be a best place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings. Without feelings and too much rationality, we become robots. There has to be feelings involved. You have to feel for other people, you have to feel for what you're doing. Feelings are always involved. Take it in a relationship setting, I guess. You're not happy in the relationship. The rational side of you says you should leave. The feeling side of you says maybe this person needs me. I love them, you know, so you're not going to want to leave them. But eventually they both stand together and they both say, yes, you love this person, but but you cannot be with them. So feelings have to be there in some way, in some shape or form. Somewhat disagree. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. Chores are relaxing to me. I find cleaning like relaxing. I'm going to say I'm neutral. You enjoy watching people argue. I don't really care, so I'm going to say disagree. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. More likely to agree. Like, I don't mind if the attention's on me. So yeah, I'm neutral on that. I don't actively avoid it, but if it happens, cool. Your mood can change very quickly. Somewhat agree. You lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. Oh yeah. I strongly agree. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. No, strongly disagree. You have always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death. I don't think about that very often, and I'm not fascinated by the question. Whatever happens, happens. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. Actually, I strongly disagree. I like being on my own. I'm going to say disagree rather than strongly disagree, because as much as I like my own company, I do like seeing my friends. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. So I'm going to say somewhat agree. You find it easy to empathize with a person whose experiences are very different to yours. I disagree. I'm not a very empathetic person. I wouldn't class myself as an empath. You usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible. I'm going to say somewhat agree. You rarely second guess the choices that you have made. I think I'm always second guessing my decisions. Actually, I'm going to say somewhat disagree. After a long, exhausting week, a lively social event is what you need. I wouldn't say no to like going to the club if my friend asked, even after a long, exhausting week. I'm going to say somewhat agree. You enjoy going to art museums. Yep, somewhat agree. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. Somewhat disagree. You like to have a to-do list for each day. Strongly disagree. You rarely feel insecure. Strongly disagree. Actually, I'm going to say somewhat disagree. I'm like insecure, but I know what I am secure in. You know what I mean? You avoid making phone calls. Somewhat disagree. You often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own. I somewhat agree, because I like to take on everybody's opinion and everybody's views. In your social circle, you are often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities. Somewhat agree. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. Okay, I'm going to say I'm neutral. You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. 100%. Those horrible memories of things that you did that were embarrassing come back to haunt you just as you're about to go to sleep. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. Somewhat disagree. Your emotions control you more than you control them. I'm going to say somewhat disagree. You take great care not to make people look bad, even when it's completely their fault. Somewhat agree. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. I'm going to say I'm neutral on this. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. Yeah, I'm going to say strongly agree. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. 100%. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of your time. No. I strongly disagree, because I love philosophy and I love pondering philosophical questions. You feel more drawn to places with busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places. I like places that are quiet. I don't like shopping when really busy. But then on the other hand, I do like going to places that are slightly busy, you know, like bars and stuff. I'm going to say somewhat disagree. You know at first glance how someone is feeling. No. You often feel overwhelmed. I somewhat agree. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. Oh, likely to disagree. You are very intrigued by things labelled as controversial. Agree. You would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more. Strongly disagree. If someone suited the job more, like if they had a lot more either experience or knowledge of said opportunity, then possibly. But in the case of if we both are going in neutral, then of course I'm going to put myself forward. You struggle with deadlines. Nope, strongly disagree. You feel confident things will work out for you, so it has to be neutral. See results. Your personality type is Logican, INTP-T. Mind. This trait determines how we interact with our environment. So I got 57% introverted and 43% extroverted. Energy. This trait shows where we direct our mental energy. I got intuitive, 66%, 34% observant. That's quite accurate. Nature. This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. 61% thinking, 39% feeling. Totally agree with that. Tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making. 42% judging, 58% prospecting. Yeah. Identity. This trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. 29% assertive, 71% turbulent. They can't help but puzzle over the mysteries of the universe, which may explain why some of the most influential philosophers and scientists of all time have been logicans. This personality type is fairly rare, but with their creativity and inventiveness, logicans aren't afraid to stand out from the crowd. At times, they may even find themselves conducting fully fledged debates in their own heads. Oh my god, that is so me. I do that all the time. From the outside, logicans may seem to live in a never-ending daydream. 100%. They have a reputation of being pensive, detached, and a bit reserved. Yeah, I agree. That is until they try to train all of their mental energy on the moment or the person at hand, which can be a bit uncomfortable for everyone. But regardless of which mode they're in, logicans are introverts and tend to get tired of the extensive socializing. After a long day, they crave time alone, consult their own thoughts. So you know how I originally said that I don't like going out of work for socializing events with colleagues? At times, logicans may see their colleagues not as a group of people to socialize and work with, but rather a series of potential distractions who sometimes provide useful knowledge. This isn't to say that people with this personality type never enjoy their co-workers' company. That's true. But the prospective water cooler chit-chat isn't going to get logicans out of bed in the morning. Conclusion. What you have read so far is just an introduction to the many complexities of logican personality type, along with the way you may have muttered to yourself, wow, this is so accurate, this is a little creepy. Finally someone understands me. The unique strengths and challenges of logicans like you. That includes the dark aspects of your personality type, the mysteries of why people just don't seem to get you, constant frustration at a world that seems tedious and superficial, the nagging fear that all of your grand ideas might never amount to anything. Logicans' gifts include rationality, innovation, and the ability to envision a better future, but they don't just want to hear what makes them great. Logicans want to find real, meaningful answers to seemingly impossible problems that haunt their imagination. I feel quite emotional about all that, to be honest. Taking a personality quiz was quite a good thing for me. Absolutely everything was 100% quite accurate, except for maybe a few things where I've grown as a person. I've never understood why I struggle to fit into most jobs, why I've always felt this disconnection to people, and I think now I get it. I'm just a very logical individual with a very creative mind, and I think some people don't get that. So when it comes to work and when it comes to doing things a little bit differently, people sometimes don't get that. I have learned a lot about myself today, and that was really accurate. Almost, I'm going to say 95% accurate. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what your personality type is. I would really like to know. Tell me in the comments down below. I will leave the type of test that I did down below. I love you guys, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye guys!